I'm Daniel Ricciardo, and you can hear my beautiful, beautiful voice on Renaissance Foundation.
My name is Max Verstappen, and you can find this interview on Renaissance Foundation.
My first question is, what gets you into that mode that you're racing in? Like, just when you're preparing, that what puts you on that? Okay, I'm going into race mode. What do you focus on mainly?
For me, it's music. Like music normally sets the tone for me. Like before a race, I'll listen to music, and that'll kind of block everything else out. And then it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like a signal for me that it's then go time. And then once I'm racing, then it's just like the passion, like the love for doing it, then gives me then the motivation to want to do better. So yeah, that's the real thing, is I guess the passion after that.
Is there any particular artists or songs you listen to?
Everything. My musical genres are very, very broad, but normally before races, either like some hardcore kind of punk rock music or some kind of filthy hip hop. Yeah. Sorry?
For me, basically listening to Daniel's music. So loud. No, it's all right. I'm actually, I listen to a little bit of music, but it's just because I like to have some tunes around. And for me, it basically just starts when I jump in the car. When the engine gets fired up, then normally I try to get fired up as well.
So for me, one of my favourite or inspiring figures in racing is Ayrton Senna. I just wanted to know who are your sort of inspiring automotive figures. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to hold it, or is it?
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Ayrton Senna growing up was certainly a hero of mine. I think it's an obvious one, but for right reasons. Beyond that, Dale Earnhardt was a NASCAR driver. He was a big inspiration. So his nickname was the Intimidator, and that was like super cool. So I like that. Yeah.
I never really had any heroes. I definitely looked up to my dad because the way he supported me in my career.
Jos Verstappen.
So I think it's him. Just after Formula One, that he basically just stopped his career, and then, especially now when I look back at it, you know how much effort he put into it, and all the travels he did to Italy with me. I could never have done that. You know, to travel like 12, 13 hours every time to go driving. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for that.
Did you ever expect to become this big in Formula One, or was it a dream, or was it a goal to become what you are now?
Well, you go first, Daniel?
You can go first.
All right. Well, for me, I never really had any plans, or it's difficult to plan anyway. I mean, you always try to go to Formula One, but you know, to how big you get or whatever, it's always difficult. So you always try to do your best, and from there on, yeah, you just see what happens. You know, I think the main target is always to just try your best every single weekend, and then, yeah, then it can be, or you become really big if you do well. If you're not doing well, you're out. It's very simple.
Yeah, it's I watched Formula One as a kid, so I loved it, but I never really thought I would be a Formula One driver. Like, I wanted to, but I didn't actually think it would happen, because especially coming from Perth, a small city in Australia, which is already so far away, it's like no one had ever done it, so it just, I don't know, it just seemed like more of a dream than a reality. But once I then actually started to see it, you know, the potential of it, then it seemed more real, and then I was like, I really wanted to make it work. So I think, yeah, I guess once I saw the big picture, then I was like purely driven to do it, and yeah, then was no longer intimidated by the thought of being on TV or doing that. It was like, kind of as Max said, you know, race hard, do what you can, and if you become big, okay, you become big. But
So you put everything into Formula One?
most things, yeah, like 20% into Formula One, 80% into singing. I'm pretty good at singing. That's about it.
So what was you doing during your youth?
I was always playing sports. Like, I love tennis. I played a little bit of football, but I just love being active. Like, school, I didn't necessarily love. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it, and there was nothing I really loved.
So you was more of a practical person than
Yeah, I couldn't sit down all day. You know, like teachers thought I was nuts because I would never sit still. They thought I had problems. So, yeah.
Sit still, son. Sit still. It's all right, son.